I'm going to war. I'm going to war today on stupidity. I feel like we've been stacking layers of pretending on top of each other for a long time. So today we are going to try and cut through that. And we're going to try to cut through to what is actually happening, and we all know is happening, and we can just admit that it's happening. Right? Because there have been a lot of people acted stupid recently. And who better to keep them honest than a dude that sits in a green room, eats chocolate turtles, and did go on a run yesterday. I'll have you guys know. So the bullying me definitely helped. I did go on a run yesterday, and I'm in immense pain, so I'm in no mood for this nonsense. Because I ran 9 miles, and I can't even feel my quads or my hamstrings. So this is what the foolishness is all about. Now, this is Bruno Fernandes winning an Oscar and getting caught on film. So in case you didn't see it, here is the play. He goes down. You know, I think we could all tell this wasn't anything. I think he knows it's not anything, as you can see him realize that something good might be about to happen, and suddenly he is no longer in arm in the air type pain, right? And I can count. Bring me back. Put the video off for a second. I can count on one hand, right? And I've lived a pretty adventurous life. I've been skydiving. I've been scuba diving. I have gone up and I have gone down and I have gone into caves. I have hiked, right? I've broken my arms 4 times. I've torn my ACL. I've broken my nose and my cheekbone on separate occasions. Right, I've gotten a severe concussion, which that doesn't really count because you kind of don't really know what's going on or where you are, so you can't really be in hand-waving pain. I don't really remember most of that day, actually. Maybe I did wave my hand in the air, but other than that, I can count on my hand the number of times that I have been in such pain that I would be hand-waving in the air. And I don't think I have a high pain tolerance. I'm a bit of a wuss, right? When those things happened, hand was in the air. Pain was being experienced. Torn ACL, by the way, at least the one that happened to me, weirdly not painful. Maybe I just have great pain tolerance in my left knee. But you have to be in serious pain. Like if you're actually in this kind of pain where you're kind of, he's like, he's freaking. I mean, what is this? He goes down. What is this? What is that? He's rolling around, then he looks at the play, and here's the real crux. I didn't even get to the actual point. He rolls back, and he's up, and he's fine. He's fine. Completely fine. Played the rest of the match, right? Or at least played on significantly from that point, right? Like, he's fine. And I can tell you those few instances of my life where I was experiencing enough pain, right? I broke a bone, I fell off a treehouse, whatever. That I stuck my hand up in the air and I was like, babysitter! I accidentally ran into the bookshelf. Like, one of those things. When that happened, I did not get up and I was not fine right afterwards. So we're cutting the nonsense. And everything else that you're about to hear in this video is the nonsense I've been referring to. But we're cutting right through that. We know what this is. I am all for respecting a player's injury when they say they can't play or whatever, and even if it doesn't look that bad, sometimes muscle injuries can be pretty well hidden, right? But we all know what this is. There's no cloak and daggers. There's no great mystery. Did Bruno Fernandes get tapped? Yeah. Is he injured? No. Is he hurt? No. I feel very comfortable with that fact, right? I do. I feel very comfortable with that fact. I mean, let's just watch it one more time. And look, at the very least, it's a bruise on the leg from the contact. He goes ankle to thigh right here. At the very, I said very least, at the very most, it's a bruise to the calf, right? But even if it's a bruise to the calf, as somebody that's done that before, you're limping. He's not limping. He's fine. He's begging for the ball, and he springs up the moment the ball gets near him again. This is textbook. We know what this is. I could say it 20 more times because you're going to be like, oh, why is he repeating himself so much? Well, let me show you. Because then Fulham, understandably, this is what social media managers are supposed to do. This whole Bruno Fernandes clip goes viral, and Fulham makes a TikTok about it. It's literally the same video you just watched with one minor modification. Let me know if you can spot it. That's great. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. I think that's really funny. I think that if you are put in a position of a social media manager where your job is to get the most eyeballs on your club and be known as like the hip, cool club, you have a clip go viral of somebody pretending to be injured, which is part of the game, unfortunately, but it is, and it's a big part of Bruno Fernandes' game, and everybody knows it, right? And that clip goes viral, and you put music underneath it. I don't think that's a problem. I can't possibly see how that would be a problem. Although you know, because we're here, that it was. This was a problem. This was flagrantly, belligerently Can we just not? For 5 seconds on the planet Earth, can we deal in facts? 5 seconds, and then I will go right back to watching Kitchen Nightmares and pretending it's real. But for 5 seconds, can we be honest? Please. Because Erik ten Hag comes flying out of the gate. This is according to David McDonald, but there are multiple sources for this interview. And Erik ten Hag branded it out of order that Fulham would make something like that and demanded an apology. Demands an apology after they posted a TikTok clip suggesting Bruno Fernandes faked the injury. They didn't. They posted cookie cutter music underneath an actual video of the incident, which means somebody's getting defensive and projecting here, but we'll get there. It's absolutely not right when a club makes such a statement. They didn't make any statement. It's totally out of order, wrong, and they should apologize for this. No, they shouldn't. This is great. This is great. But I understand why he's doing it. Because he's defending his player. But here's the deal. If you do the crime, you do the time. Okay? Now, I have no issue with flopping. The way the rules are written currently, I wish it wasn't a part of the game. I'm a human being. Of course, I wish that flopping and rolling around and Neymar rolling himself into Mars atmosphere was not a part of the game. But the way the rules are written, if you want to win, it's not a bad idea to flop to unearth a Flopposaurus Rex from the archaeological site every once in a while, right? That is not a terrible approach because you might be able to get a call. Bruno's looking for a call. It's not like if a Manchester United fan, I'm like, cool, he's looking for a call. But if you do that, admit it. Everybody else already knows. We watched it happen. If you do it and then come out and went, yeah, I was trying to draw a call, he hit me a little bit, and I tried to sell it, cool. The opposite of what you should do, my humble opinion, is come out and double down. Like Erik ten Hag's doing this because Bruno Fernandes, I'm sure, got upset about it. And so Erik ten Hag's like, watch this, I'm going to win the loyalty of my players. There's a lot that I like about Bruno Fernandes. I think he's a very good player. The dude is always available. He's like never hurt. Maybe it's because he flops so much. He dodges most of the contact. I don't know the actual reason for that. There's a lot to like about him. This is something to hate about the guy because you can't double down, dude. It's so obvious. And the fact that all Fulham has to do is put epidemic sounds circus music under an actual video of the event, and you go, they're making he said they're making a statement. They're making a statement about his injury. That's just projecting. You're only doing that because you already know the answer. Because you know what happened. Let's just drop the charade. Because it's, you're trying to win the game. I get that. You flop. Cool. You did flop. He got up. He played a lot of the rest of the game. And if you zoom out from the original clip, you see more from that Erik ten Hag injury. Erik ten Hag has said Bruno suffered a serious injury here and that he showed leadership by carrying on. He's got a very high pain threshold. I mean, look, Eric, I know you've not been able to manage the locker room particularly well, right? You're LARPing as Sir Alex Ferguson, trying to be all hardcore on like Jadon Sancho and, we're keeping it in-house on Marcus Rashford. Well, I mean, well, what is this? Now all of a sudden Bruno Fernandes gets sneezed on, and you're doing splits on it. You're doing splits on it. Whatever Bruno needs, whatever we need to get Bruno to play well. Which I guess, as I'm saying that sentence out loud, maybe doing splits on it, maybe, warshipping Bruno Fernandes is the way to go here. I don't get it. Now, Eric, look, I know what you're trying to do here, right? You're trying to galvanize the locker room. I think Eric Ten Hag's done a good managerial job this year because I don't think the Manchester United squad is just actually that good. They're not playing well right now. So Eric Ten Hag having them somewhere near the Champions League is a pretty good accomplishment. But he's also been LARPing as Sir Alex Ferguson for a while, trying to be all hardcore and kicking Jadon Sancho. Can't do that anymore. Social media did not exist when Sir Alex Ferguson was doing that. You cannot do that anymore with these people because Sir Alex Ferguson was never arguing with Fulham's TikTok, right? And now we've got Bruno, who you perceive that Bruno's being threatened. I'm guessing this is some sort of selling point in the Sir Alex Ferguson mold that, like, you don't come after people in this house. If you do, I will defend you. It's the wrong hill to die on. This is the exact wrong hill to die on. This is like, one if by land or two if by sea, and you just, you're like dyslexic or something. I wouldn't even cause this, but like hallucinating and you see two lanterns, but they're only one. So you're waiting at sea and they come by land and you're like, dang it. So this was the wrong. There are a lot of other things to do. I don't know. You could have defended Harry Maguire more than you did when he was getting dumped on. You could have spoken more out in favor of Marcus Rashford. He did it a little bit, right? You could have, there's so many, anything but a viral video of Bruno Fernandes flopping. Be honest. It's a flop. You're trying to win. Nothing wrong with that. It's a flop. I feel like I've said that 20 times, so I'm going to end this. But it's like 5 seconds of honesty. Right? The real life is not a game of Football Manager where you're like, I need to manipulate the dynamics and, honesty. What does everybody ever seek from their leader in any situation? Honesty. That's always the answer. What do you want from a manager? Honesty. Eric is LARPing right now, and this makes absolutely no sense. All right, bye. I can't!